All right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and tonight we've got a special football preview, preseason, whatever you want to call it. It's all things football tonight, and what better way to get that kicked off than to have those guys from the Man Child Chronicles on with me tonight. I'm going to go ahead and bring these guys on because they're going to take over the program, and I'm just going to be along for the laughs and the fun ride and just to get a little bit of a taste of what they do on the Man Child Chronicles. First, I'm going to play a quick promo about these guys. And it froze. And it froze. So we're not going to play that promo. We're just going to bring those guys right on in, and we're not even going to mess with it. All right. Hey guys, how you doing?
Going real good.
Going real good. All right, we're
Ryan
getting a little.
Ryan froze too. That's dangerous. John, are
Just
you still with us?
kidding.
He's just
Oh,
kidding.
nice.
I
Oh,
love it.
that's hilarious.
That was great. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, what are you doing? All right,
Jay,
Ryan, I
Jay,
am
tell him a
on
little
the
bit.
board. I am on the board. I am doing a fantasy draft right now. I am in round 11 out of 16. I need my tight end. On the board is Gerald Everett, Greg Dulcich, or Tyler Conklin. So, Ryan, bring me in. Who am I targeting right now? I do not have a tight end. And
Conk,
receivers, Tyler Conklin. John, what's your thoughts there? I have 20 seconds.
Tony Gonzalez.
All right, Tyler Conklin it is. Thank you for your help, John. I appreciate it so much.
Tony Gonzalez would have been a great pick if he was there, though.
Oh, I am now 20 picks away, and my strategy is going to go back to getting another running back this next round, Ryan.
Yes.
Okay.
Gotta be smart.
And while we're
Okay.
doing that, Jane Bailey says, "Hi, boys."
Hey, Mama. Hey, Mama. Hope you're enjoying watching us talk football and drafting. But yeah, Kirk, you actually have my screen, so you can even throw my ESPN screen on there, so people can see that I really am in the middle of a fantasy football draft.
You are, I know. And I had it go up there right when you made your pick, and it said
Oh, did
"boom"
I?
right up
Perfect.
there at the top. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, cool. I'm
All
only
right.
watching that screen.
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what we're doing? And I know you've got some different plans, some different things you want to do, but we're getting to hear about a lot of stuff here. So go ahead, kick it off.
Well,
Take it away,
Kirk,
Ryan.
we're all here about football tonight, and the Man Child Chronicles Sports Edition team is here, and we
Uh-huh.
do a weekly podcast every week covering sports, along with our other main show that comes out on Fridays. But we'll cover. We've done all the previews for football this year and for fantasy and sports wise, and we've done a mock draft on there, and we review every week. We review the week's games, and we have a good time doing it. And tonight we're going to share that with you. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen this year, some fantasy advice, and John's going to make fun of the Jets a lot, and it's going to be a great time.
Well, I was just going to point out real quick that Ryan, you look so much more fresh right now, and is it because of this fresh new Jets football team? Is that what you're excited about?
Oh, Kirk, I have lived. I'm 42 years old. I have never been so excited for a football season in my entire life. This is the first time that I actually think we have a chance to win
There
a
you
Super
go.
Bowl, and I am so excited. Aaron Rodgers has brought a whole new culture to this team and fan base.
Go ahead, John.
John, coming from Wisconsin, how do you feel about Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing about Aaron Rodgers. You're either going to make it to the playoffs and lose and choke, or you're not going to make it at all.
There you have it. Straight from Wisconsin.
Ryan's over here though, and he's texting us, and he's like, "Jets are gonna win the Super Bowl. Jets are gonna win the championship." And I'm like, "Can't you just worry about like getting to the playoffs? What's it been 8 years since they've made it to the playoffs? Like, shouldn't you be like baby stepping your way here and then getting excited? No, you're just going all for it."
Well, I said as a Jets fan, I have to go all in right now because if we don't do it, I may never be able to get this excited about having a chance to go to the Super Bowl again. So I got to get it all out of the way right now.
There is hope. There is hope because we had that pain for a long time with that team that Jay's wearing on his hat. It was insufferable. It was horrible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There were a lot of rough years. It was so bad that my brother John started loving Tom Brady and became a Patriots
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
That's can't blame him. I think, and it's
No.
hard to judge John because I think you were what 7 when Tom Brady started playing. I mean, you got to start you got to start rooting for the champion right away.
Ryan knows Tom Brady real well,
Real
really well.
You know, here's how well I know him. I watched the game on TV where Mo Lewis, the linebacker for the Jets, tackled Drew Bledsoe and hurt him. And here comes the backup quarterback, Tom Brady, and history was written right after that. So we caused that, and we suffered for it for many years.
What were we doing? All we had to do was not tackle Drew Bledsoe. What were we
Yeah.
thinking?
I just don't understand you, John. I mean, why would you leave some of these brilliant quarterbacks that we had with the Kansas City Chiefs? Steve Bono, Elvis Gerbeck. I mean, come on.
I really believed in the Chiefs until the Damon Heward Brody Croyle.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
until they announced Damon Heward as their starting quarterback. Then I said,
Oh man.
well, I don't think we're trying anymore, folks.
You are not wrong. You are not
Oh,
wrong. Oh, Jay,
that
how you
was
coming?
that was a blast from the past right there. What a name, John. I am 4 picks away.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, touched my mic there. I'm 4 picks away, and I am just eyeing a running back. I don't know if you're throwing it back on the screen or not.
Well, I am even as we speak.
Perfect. But Ryan, you can see here on the side, defenses and kickers keep going.
Oh,
People are not stopping on their defense and kicker run, even though there are 4 rounds left. So
that's fine.
I have 5 picks left. So at this point, Kenneth Gainwell is still on the board right there where you said he would be. So I could take him because the scuttlebug is, Ryan, Kenneth Gainwell might be the what for the
He's been getting
Philadelphia
all.
Eagles?
He's been getting a lot of the work with the ones. The majority of the work, when preseason came and the starters weren't playing, either was Kenneth Gainwell. And he's a very good receiving back out of the backfield. So he looks like a very good viable option for that team to start. Rashad Penny, who they brought on, hoping to be their lead back, has had 1 carry with the first team in this for a rep all of training camp. So it's not looking like him. So
What
that'd be
about
a nice.
DeAndre Swift? Didn't they bring on DeAndre?
They did, and he'll do a lot of catching out of the backfield. They've been lining him up a lot in the slot and on the outside as well. So he'll get a lot of catches. But for what Jay has to pick from for running backs, Kenneth Gainwell will probably get the most work out of people that are left there.
So you're
Jay, I
saying
see
Gainwell is
you're on
going
the
to be a
clock, aren't you?
Darren Sproles?
I'm next.
All right.
John, that is a good example. Kenneth Gainwell is the Darren Sproles for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And you can't go wrong with Darren Sproles back in the day. Man, we were dropping some big time old names on here.
Yeah, we are. So sad to say, though, Ryan, the kicker I was eyeing, Greg Zerline, I was hoping he'd fall to me, and he is not. He is off the board.
Greg the leg is gone. Yep.
Greg the leg is gone.
Yep. Here you go. You're up right now.
And I will be taking Mr. Kenneth Gainwell.
Well, now that you made that pick, Jay, let's talk a little bit about the upcoming football season, and let's talk about what we think is going to shake up. So we got the AFC and the NFC. We'll start, since we're all AFC fans, we'll start with the boring division, the NFC, who doesn't have very many good teams in there. So I will tell you my picks to make the playoffs in the division winners, and then we'll kick it to John and see if he has any feedback or any picks there. So for the NFC, I got the Eagles winning their division and the Cowboys making it as a wild card. I think the Eagles are still maybe the best team in football. They are loaded top to bottom, probably have the best roster in football. The Cowboys, I think, are good enough to make the playoffs, but they're going to be a one and done. I got the Lions winning the North Division. I think this is the year Dan Campbell takes them and wins the division, takes them to the playoffs. I got the Vikings making it as a wild card. I got the Saints winning the hot garbage division of the NFC South, maybe the worst division I've seen in football in existence. And I got the 49ers winning their division with the Seahawks making as a wild card. And I have the 49ers out of that division advancing to the Super Bowl. What you think about that, John?
I said in my head, I bet $100 he's going to talk about the Jets and we're in the NFC. So I guess I owe you $100.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you my Venmo account.
But looking over the conferences and the rosters, I agree with you on the 49ers. I think it's very hard to win in the playoffs in the NFL, and I don't think the Eagles are going to have the same success they did last year in the playoffs. 49ers, I mean, almost made it to the Super Bowl without a quarterback. And so if they can just have a healthy quarterback back there, they're probably going to push through and get there.
You know, I like how you brought up the Eagles last year. They had one of the easiest schedules in the league, and everything fell for them perfectly in the playoffs. They got to play the lowest seeded teams, and then when they played a good team, their quarterback got hurt on the first series and couldn't throw a ball. I mean, how lucky can you get? And then when they finally played a mediocre team like the Chiefs, they lost. So
A mediocre team.
Jay is so focused on his draft right now.
Dude,
he didn't even
I'd
hear.
love to tell you
Just
I'm
sitting here.
listening to you guys. I'm not. I am 2 picks away. Ryan, at this point, I'm thinking I should take the kicker because that's the highest scoring position that I don't have on my team yet.
Don't waste. Let everybody else draft kickers. You don't need to look at all the points kicker. They're all the same. You don't need to waste a pick on a kicker.
I hear you, but
If you
Cameron
don't
Dicker
take a
is out
kicker
there.
in the first 3 rounds, this is where you're at right now.
John, someone took Justin Tucker, 3rd round.
Oh,
Third
of
round.
course. Why
Third
would you
round.
not?
Well,
That's a solid one.
you got 2 good kickers out there. You got Dicker the kicker from the Chargers, and you got
Yep.
Sanders from the Dolphins. 2 good offenses. So, I mean, either
So
one.
if you
you
say
got
back
Detroit.
off from there, so I can go to flex.
You got to get.
I'm on fantasy points.
Yeah.
Do you want me to add another wide receiver at this point?
Ew,
Take Chase Claypool.
Lucky. Maybe you do want a kicker.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of good options out there right now.
Now Romeo Dobbs.
This is a 16-team draft, so it is deep. There are a lot of teams.
Now
Here we go.
Romeo Dobbs has been Jordan Love's favorite target in the preseason. Just for fun, what's out there for running backs right now since you only have 4 of them?
Josh
Lucky.
Kelly,
Yeah,
Jerome Ford,
that hurts.
Chuba.
My eyes, get off of there. My eyes hurt. Get it off.
The only other thing is I don't have a backup tight end. So
Kate
Kate
Otten.
Otten's still there. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
I was thinking going my kicker and then Kate Otten and 10 picks.
Yeah, there you go. Go take Cameron Dicker, the kicker.
He's going to
That's a
tie
good
well
pick.
with my Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah.
So John, this is crazy. The kickers are scoring more points than running backs in this league. They have it set up that the kicker gets 0.15 points per yard they kick. So if you kick a 40-yard field goal, that's 6 points.
Well, then no wonder Justin Tucker was taken in the first 3 rounds.
The 3rd round.
No, John. Listen, John. You want to hear something crazy?
Can you play a kicker and flex?
John,
listen to this.
CMC's end of the year projections was 350 points. Patrick Mahomes, 1,800 points.
1,800?
There's 2 points per completed pass.
The first week he's
kind of league
projected
are you in
82
right
points.
now?
Oh no! This is with my Delta Metals crew out in Iowa, and so it's with my work, and I got invited to it last week, and I am just mind blown by the scoring, John. But
That
quarterbacks,
commissioner
wide
is like, you go
receivers,
big or you go home.
yeah, they're not encouraging running quarterbacks in this league. They are encouraging passing quarterbacks.
Now, speaking, John, thank you for the good segue. Go big or go home. Let's talk the AFC East and the New York Football Jets. That's why we're all here tonight. We all want to hear New York Jets. They brought in 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers. They brought in his old offensive coordinator, who they meshed so well together when they were in Green Bay. He brought
Where was that offensive coordinator last year before you just
He-
skip over that?
that is irrelevant. He brought in what he did is what he did, John, is set up for the Jets by ruining a whole team, so they're irrelevant this year. So what
That would be
we
the
brought
Denver
in,
Broncos.
we brought in 2 of his favorite receivers, his best friend Randall Cobb, his other favorite receiver Alan Lazard, and we signed 4-time Pro Bowl running back from the Minnesota Vikings, Delvin Cook. We are loaded roster with a great defense, and believe it or not, I have them picked to win the AFC East and go to the Super Bowl, baby.
That's
I also
surprising.
have the Buffalo Bills making it from that division. In the AFC North, I have the Cincinnati Bengals winning the division with Baltimore as a wild card team. I have the AFC South Jacksonville Jaguars, and I do want to mention this. I have them as the number 1 seed in the AFC this year.
Oh.
Mark it. I got Kansas City winning the division with the Chargers as a wild card. That is my AFC picks.
Now, here's the thing, Ryan. Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers was in the NFC for how many years?
A lot.
And how many Super Bowls did he go to?
More than the Jets did since I've been alive.
Okay. Now Aaron
Oh,
Rodgers in the AFC. And in the AFC, it ain't for no chumps like the NFC is. Every division, you have one or maybe even 2 teams that have the potential to go to the Super Bowl. And there ain't no way Bills Mafia is going to let little Aaron Rodgers come into their division and beat them. Buffalo Bills. Super
Well,
Bowl.
John, I'm gonna have to say Ethan is making a comment. He's saying right here, big year for the old man. Now, I took that one of 2 ways. Either he was talking about me or he was talking about Aaron Rodgers. So,
He's talking about Ryan.
okay.
Yeah, it is a big year for me. The Jets are going to win the Super Bowl, Ethan. We like you. Thanks for watching. What a great fan. Probably the best fan ever on Sports Locker Nation besides Jay and John's mom. This is fantastic, Ethan. Thank you.
Oh, that's great.
So I
Now,
heard about the AFC East. I haven't heard about any other AFC divisions yet. I don't.
Jay, we do want to get your Super Bowl pick, though.
Did we even talk about any of the other AFC divisions?
No.
Yeah, we
Well,
brought
he
them all.
did. He did, but it was all about the Jets. That was the Jets segment.
We're going to break down some teams here. We're getting the picks out of the way, though.
Okay.
Bills Mafia.
So, John, you have the Bills going to the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
So they finally have to go, is what you're saying. You think they're going to get past the juggernaut that is the Kansas City Chiefs?
This is it.
This
right
is the
here,
year,
boys. This is it.
I don't think it's the year. The Bengals, the Bills, the Jets, they all have great opportunity ahead, but until I see it, the Chiefs are still going to be in the AFC Championship game. And they are going to win it. So Chiefs all the way. Come on, I'm not giving up on my Chiefs.
Kirk, what do you got? Bring some sense to these guys. I mean, come on.
Let's see. Ethan's got another comment. He thinks Baltimore will also have a big year if Lamar can stay healthy.
I agree 100%.
He ain't wrong on that one.
Why Ethan brings up Baltimore and Kirk decides how he wants to. Say quick break. Jay's up on the clock.
And Kate Otten was just taken off the board.
Who's out
Oh
there
my
for tight
goodness.
end?
So tight end on the board,
Oh, there you
Jelani
go.
Woods,
I gotcha.
Dawson Knox, and Hunter Henry. Or
Luke Musgrave. Luke Musgrave, the rookie tight end for Green Bay. He's going to be their starting tight end. Good upside there. You don't need him until the bye week. That'll be a good pick.
Yep. Make sure it's not the same bye week. Nope. Tyler Conklin is 7. Luke Musgrave is 6. I will take Luke Musgrave.
Ooh, and you know what's good about that, Jay, is rookies tend to come out of bye weeks. That's when they start picking up their play. So that might be a good pick right there.
So looking here, Ryan, I am up in 10 picks. I have my defense left, which I'm going to take last. And then I have one more bench spot.
Backup kicker.
John, you're probably not wrong. Backup kicker would actually probably score more. Yep, they are rated to score more points than any flex player on the screen. Oh,
is there any quarterbacks left?
Yeah, let's take a peek.
Because if there's a starting quarterback left, somebody's not going to have a quarterback for a bye week, which means trade for
Sam
you.
Howell and Desmond Ridder are both there.
Take Sam Howell. Because somebody's going to have to trade you. They're not.
Trade
bait. You seen Sam Howell play quarterback?
Yeah, Ron Rivera. In fact, I'm glad you said that, John. Today, Ron Rivera came out and had talked very highly about him, saying, boy, he wished to let him play last year because they would have won a lot more games if he was playing. He didn't realize how good Sam Howell was.
Riverboat Ron is who you're trusting. Riverboat Ron is who you are going to be like, yep, that guy right there. I trust him.
All right.
Well, Ethan made a comment. Can we get some love for the number 1 overall draft pick, Bryce Young? Ethan, I'm just going to have to say, my friend, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah. I really do like Bryce Young.
I like him.
I love looking at how the test score. So just to shout out him, he tested very high on that rookie test. It's no longer called the Wonderlic test. I want to say it's called the S2 test. Anyways, Bryce Young scored in 98%. So when it comes to football mind, he's very football mind. He knows he can read defenses really well. Bryce Young is very smart. We've also seen other quarterbacks have that same mind. One of the highest testing scores, I think it was a 99% or 100%, was Ryan Tannehill. He can put together, he struggled at first, but he has put together a pretty good resume, but nothing like the top picks with just the pure athletic ability on top of the mind. So we'll see if Bryce Young can put it together.
Would you guys think that New Orleans and Atlanta are probably a little bit ahead there?
Yeah, that division is really up for grabs. I like New Orleans because the way when divisions are close, I'm going with whoever has the best quarterback. And Derek Carr has always been a very good quarterback in the league, and they still have a good defense there, and they got some weapons. I do like Atlanta's run game is really good. I think their team's going to be better than people think. And Carolina, they did very good job building a team around Bryce Young, but I'm not going to bet on a rookie quarterback over Derek Carr with that team. So
and we got to look at the fact that they were a number 1 pick for a reason. The team was, needing a little bit of help, and so I think we got to look at that. Same thing with C.J. Stroud. I think that they've got a lot to do down there in Houston as well. So, how close are you, Jay?
I am 2 picks away, and man, Ryan, Romeo Doubs is still on the board.
You guys do realize Bryce Young is 5'5", right?
Yeah, 5'5". Spud Webb. He's a little bit taller than Spud Webb.
John, you're so mean.
He's Doug Flutie 2.0, man.
Now, I will say, John, that was a big myth back in the day, but I think Drew Brees pretty much squashed all the short quarterback myths that were out there with the career he had. So
besides last year, so has Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
one guy
until last year. Ethan says,
"One
hey,
guy figured out how to play quarterback really well, so that means everybody that short is going to be great."
All right, Ryan, I am on the clock. in this crazy scoring quarterback league, do you think I should grab Sam Howell? He's still there.
I do, because I think this is your last pick besides the defense, and
Yep.
there's going to be a team out there, Jay, that doesn't have a backup quarterback, that they're going to play a week without a quarterback. So you could probably fleece them on a trade and get somebody good for your third string quarterback.
Let's do it. Sam Howell it is.
There we
Now he's
go.
got
Going
left
to the
us the
defense.
There we go. So your question was for me earlier. Who am I picking? I have to go with Jay. I have to stay true to the Chiefs until they prove me different. I know. But I will say that it is quite possible that they could be playing your Jets in the AFC Championship game.
That'd be
Probably
so
not,
fun.
but they could. They could.
The thing John hates when we talk about the Jets, but John, I don't know what you don't like about the Jets, because before Aaron Rodgers even got there, the Jets were making moves.
Yeah.
They had offensive rookie of the year last year, defensive rookie of the year last year. That defense is nasty. They might set the sack record this year with that D line. I don't. The defense is scarier than the offense for the Jets, and the offense is pretty scary on paper. So we'll see how it all plays out. But they're a pretty exciting team.
John,
Yeah,
I
but
think they
you
even
forget
had
the Jets.
John, I think they even had the hot dog vendor rookie of the year. They had the mascot rookie of the year. They had a lot of stuff going for them, but
For having
this
two
year,
rookies of the year, they still went 7-10. They still did not make the playoffs.
they had no quarterback,
It's
my
true.
man.
It's
Hey,
true.
hey,
It's true.
Hey, we took that rearview mirror and we threw it in the garbage. We're not looking in the past. We're looking forward, and we're looking at Super
Not true.
Bowl.
Your
baby.
coach said same old Jets. Embrace that we're the same old Jets.
For a guy that doesn't like the Jets, you sure know a lot about what's going on with the Jets.
Because I watched half
Hey.
an episode of Hard Knocks. I said, nope.
All right, here's a
Ethan,
question.
Ethan just asked, is Ezekiel Elliott going to get any playing time with the Patriots? And Ethan, I will tell you this. He's not going to get a lot, but what he's going to do is he's going to be a goal line back. And how I see Ezekiel Elliott playing this year is he's going to have like Jamal Williams last year, where he's going to get all the goal line touches. And I could, in a world, if Mac Jones and this offense can get a little bit better with their new offensive coordinator, I can see a world where Ezekiel Elliott scores between 15 and 20 touchdowns this year.
I
But
can only
maybe,
hope.
yeah.
Jay,
But
that
only
sounds
runs
like
for
a
like
movie
15
trailer.
yards.
I didn't hear what you said. What'd you say, Kirk?
Jay, that sounds like a movie trailer in a world.
In a land, in a world where Mac Jones plays amazing football. Ezekiel
Alabama.
Elliott scores a bunch of points. Alabama. Nick Saban.
Hey, we got
Yeah.
a special guest on here. This is Audrey. You guys are awesome. Hi, granddaughter. You're awesome.
Thanks, Audrey. Appreciate you, babe.
All right. Grandma said, hi, Audrey. Lots of love going on there, Audrey. So Grandma Jane giving you some love.
Now, since we got a couple of Chiefs fans on here, I do want to point out one thing with the Chiefs that you guys are forgetting about.
No,
they have
Chris
this
Jones.
quarterback. They have this quarterback on their team that is insanely good, that carries their offense. Well, then you go to the defensive side where Patrick Mahomes can't play. They have this guy on defense who normally carries their whole defense and sets the tone. He's holding out because the Chiefs don't think he's worth the money. So how are you guys expecting to win games and playoff games without your best defensive player by far?
Next man up, Brian. It's the next man up. You just got those are tiny shoes to fill, next man up. Oh, that's got me extremely nervous.
Yeah, it's going to be a much lower chance there if that happens. So
Brian, be prepared for Mahomes to unlock an even greater offense because we're going to have to keep scoring the football. There's no doubt about it because our defense is looking pretty weak. I'll give
I think
that to you.
Mahomes is going to have to lace them up at D end, I think, and try to get to the quarterback to help them out.
I've said it for a long time. I said the Chiefs' best defense is their offense. As long as they can keep scoring.
Oh, they're gonna
It's
have
not
to.
defensive wins championships, it's offense wins championships.
That's right. They doubted us when we lost Tyreek, and then we won that last year with that hodgepodge group of receivers. And I'm
And this
liking what
year
I'm
it's
seeing
even
in
more
some of these
hodgepodge.
receivers this year. I know that it's looking good if we can get them off the injured list.
I will never doubt Patrick Mahomes after last year. I will say that. Never again. Break down some of these other teams here in a little bit here. Where are we sitting on break time, Kirk? Are we good still?
I want to do
Break-
Jay's. When's your next pick?
My next pick is in 6 picks, and I do want to talk about some defenses, some sleepers, because when you're drafting last, obviously all the really good defenses are off the board. Ryan, what's your opinion, real quick, for my last pick and for the viewers? When you're grabbing just a last-minute defense, you're looking for easiest schedule. What are some teams on here that have the easiest schedule?
Kirk can pull that up. Is Jacksonville out there still?
Let me pull
Jacksonville
that
is
up.
out there.
Oh, that's it right there, dude.
Yep,
That's
the
why
Seahawks
I
are
said
still out there.
Seahawks are good too. I said Jacksonville was going to win the AFC East with the best record this year and be the number 1 seed because they have such an easy schedule. That is a good pick. And Seattle is a great pick. They just went. So Jacksonville is a great pick because they have such an easy schedule. Now the Bucks still have a lot of good defensive players in a very easy division, but for my money, Jacksonville has a very easy schedule. They play like 5 or 6 good teams. The rest of them aren't good.
And
So
when
I
you're
like
looking at some defenses here, I have it organized by fantasy points. There's not a lot of point differential for the year on what these defenses are going to score you. So you just kind of have to look at what the ease of schedule is going to be over. Oh well, the Bucks are up here at 107. I mean, we're merely 14 points spread across the year is the Jaguars, so it's not that big of a point difference.
Yeah, I like the Bucks too because they play a lot of bad teams. Their division's bad, so you know they're getting 6
Yep.
games right there of bad teams,
Yep.
and they have good defensive players. The other good thing about the Bucks in this type of league you're in, because it's a very low-scoring defense, so you're looking for sacks, interceptions. They'll probably be behind a lot of games because Baker Mayfield's their quarterback, so that defensive line's gonna have to pin their ears back and go a lot. But that could also go against them too because
I
if
feel
the
like
other
they're going to
team
be
is
on the
up,
field a lot.
yeah, if the team is up by a lot, they're just going to run the ball. So the chances for Jacksonville to me is the easy choice.
I'm going to land on Jacksonville.
There you go.
All right, we can go to break.
There you have it. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. That's drama-filled TV right there, even though it's not TV. We're online. We'll just call it that. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions. Jay, you haven't said anything about them for a while. Why? Because you have not been on here with me. Why don't you say something nice about them?
Hey, I've always been a big fan of CNS Business Services. They have been around. Oh man, Kirk, I used to have the number memorized. 40-something years.
45.
How long's it been? 45 years. Yeah.
And here's how long it's been since you've been on. Is that it's not CNS Business Services, it's CNS Employment Solutions.
CNS Employment Solutions. And you know what?
There you
It
go.
just fits even more because not only are they, if you're looking for a job, you're trying to find employment, they will help with that. And so love partnering with them on that side. But if you're a business owner, if you actually own the business, their services that they provide provide to employers is through the roof. It's more than just finding other workers. There's HR to it. I'm telling you, CNS Employment Services is an awesome company, and you join with them. They're a great partner to have on Sports Locker. So yeah, I can't have enough nice things to say about them, Kirk.
Yeah, you did great. And then Big Whiskeys, they have been a great sponsor for us in the magazine. They sponsor our Coach of the Issue. And so we just want to thank them for speaking out and telling the story about some of our local coaches who do a great job and make sure that our student athletes are being prepared as they get out onto the field and the court. So we want to thank them as well. All right, that's our break. Real quick,
Boom.
I have to say before we continue, this was individual, but it was from Audrey. She said, "Hi, Papa. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Uncle John. Hi, Dad." There you go. We
She's
had to do a
great.
shout out for Audrey. All right. Continuing on. This has been drama filled online podcast, streaming, whatever you want to call it. Drama filled. Why? Because Ryan's Jets are in the conversation this year.
Oh, it's great. I could talk about the Jets all night if you want me to, Kirk. But I know we're in Southern Missouri and people don't want to talk about the Jets. Let's talk about some other teams, some other big storylines this year. Let's hit up the Baltimore Ravens since Ethan brought them up a little while ago. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, who what is different about him compared to anybody that's ever been an offensive coordinator in Baltimore is the pace of play. So Baltimore has always been a run, short pass,
But do
run
run.
team. So this guy tries to get as many plays in as he can. A pass first team that spreads the ball out all over the field, creates space for his running backs when they do run it. So they're going to get a lot more plays in, a lot faster pace. So it's a totally different team. I'm really excited to see what they can do, to see what Lamar Jackson can do and the rest of this team. But they all depend on if Lamar can stay healthy. They paid him a bunch of money last year. A lot of people say he didn't play a lot because of his contract. We'll see what happens, I guess.
So what do you guys think though? I mean, that to me, that's one of the toughest divisions in football right there is with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Ravens. I mean, I kind of think it could go any way with all three of those teams.
Well, then they got the Browns, and the Browns are no slouch either.
Right.
If Deshaun Watson becomes any type of quarterback like he was before, when it came to fantasy, he always finished as a top 4 quarterback. So if he can get back to that form, they might be the best team in that division, to be honest with you. They have a loaded defense with Myles Garrett. They have
Yeah.
who I think will be the best running back in football this year in Nick Chubb. So they might, that whole division. Then you got Mike Tomlin, who never has a losing season. You got Joe Burrow in that loaded offense with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It is a really fun division, and it could be anybody's.
Yeah.
So
And then again, it could be like last year's AFC West where they were talking about how loaded that was, and then it was like,
yeah.
Oh, man.
that
Oh,
was
that's funny.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, AFC West, to me, there's two teams in there. I don't think the Broncos, they brought in Sean Payton. They could be good. Sean Payton's always been a good coach. We're going to find out. Was it him? Was it Drew Brees? We'll see. I think Russell Wilson still stinks. He hasn't looked very good in preseason at all, missing a lot of throws. And Sean Payton's already called out the Jets. I got him worked back in there. But the San Diego or the Los Angeles Chargers, I keep calling them San Diego Chargers. They brought in Kellen
Oh,
Moore,
man.
who was the offensive coordinator in Dallas, who Mike McCarthy fired because he thought he was the reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl. But he is like the other guy I just talked about. He has a high-flying offense, and when you have Justin Herbert as your quarterback and you bring in a guy that understands, kind of like Andy Reid, how to create space, how to get your best players in one-on-one matchups, that's going to be a problem for a lot of teams when you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert.
That's right. Jay, how close you getting, man? What's your next one?
I'm done.
The draft is now done. So I've got
It is
my
now
team.
done.
and
All
the
right.
draft is done.
Are you
So I
happy
am-
with it?
Oh yeah, I'm very happy with how that turned out. For a 16-team league with some very obnoxious scoring rules, I'm very happy with how that turned out. I'm
John, what
excited.
about you? Are you
It's the
happy for your
weirdest
brother?
league I've ever been in.
I'm happy
John,
for
are
my
you happy?
brother. I'm
Oh,
happy
okay.
for my brother, but I'm confused about all this Todd Monken talk, who's never proven himself in the NFL. He was the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers when they couldn't win games. He was the offensive coordinator for the Browns the 1 year with Baker Mayfield and Freddie Hitchens as the head coach. He's never been successful in the NFL, and now all of a sudden, this high style offense that causes a lot of turnovers for his quarterbacks is going to be successful with Lamar Jackson, who has not proven himself to be a passer. It's
And I
going to be
didn't,
fun.
John, I didn't say they were going to win a ton of games. I just said it's going to be a more.
No, but you were putting him on a pedestal.
I have them as a wild card team making the playoffs, but they're going to have a lot more offensive plays, which produces a lot more stats. And when me and you already had this conversation, I'm not going to go down this. John just
First
he wakes
off-
up in John wakes
first
up in the
off-
morning and he just wants. He's like, "How can I get under Ryan's skin
And
today?"
first
That's
off,
what
you
John-
say Kellen Moore. Do you forget what was his last play call as a Dallas Cowboy person? And you're going to bring up Kellen Moore as being the guy who knows how to get people open? His last play call with the Dallas Cowboys was putting Ezekiel Elliott under center and nobody else on the line.
Poor Zeke. He got blown up.
He got
so
fired
bad.
and he got Zeke fired too.
Zeke, we're not going to trade you, Zeke. We're just going to kill you. Oh, that's awesome.
Anywho,
Well, I want to
go
know.
ahead.
I want to know real quick. What's we need to go through. Who's going to be playing in the Super Bowl? We need to get that matchup from everybody. I want to hear that.
We do indeed.
Well, I already said mine. It's the Jets and the 49ers, and the Jets are going to win it.
Okay, John.
Bills 49ers.
Jay.
This is going to be. This is the NFL this next year. It's going to be like the NBA, where you had these crazy, where the teams just kept playing each other. It's going to be Chiefs versus Eagles. It is going to be Chiefs Eagles #2, and it is going to be the Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts show again. And I do not feel good about the Chiefs' chances if we don't figure something out on defense. That's what it's going to be.
I see that. I thought I was going to be different. I was going to be the one that was going to say that, and I should have gone first. But I
You
agree.
should have.
And Ethan says rematch from last year. Jason
Boom.
Kelsey will take a ring before he retires.
I can
Hurts
see
will
it.
get his first ring. I don't agree with that, Ethan, but okay.
I could see it though, Ethan. I could see it.
I can too.
That's
I can
that's the
too.
crazy part.
For me, the 49ers and the Eagles, I don't know. The 49ers, they always seem to get right on the cusp, and then boom, they're off. But they've got a
Well, they
loaded
played
team, so
horrible last year against the Eagles, so I don't know
Yeah.
what.
The only disadvantage the 49ers have is Kyle Shanahan as head coach. That's the only disadvantage they have.
that's a huge disadvantage when you have a coach like Mike McCarthy, who is the coach.
He is a
Would
choker.
you guys agree on that?
Oh.
Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy is one of the worst coaches in football. I don't know how he got a second job, but somehow I think this might be
Because
his
you
last
won one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers.
How long did it take for them to get Kellen Moore as a offensive coordinator? How long did it take for him to get snatched up after he got released?
Oh, it was within days. I don't even know if it
Yeah.
was days. It might have been the next one. Very fast.
Hey guys,
He was
yeah,
go ahead.
what's some other things you want to talk about here real quick before we close out? We're about 5-10 more minutes.
I just want to hit on fantasy football and how if you love watching football and you want to find that extra thing to talk to your friends about or make new friends or find different relationships, fantasy football is a great outlet to do, and it keeps you in touch. Me and Jay worked together a long time ago. We moved away, but we stayed in touch, and a lot of that was through fantasy football, and still have a good friendship today from it. And
We used to joke, well, I guess we'll talk to you next season. Like we're not going to talk for the next 7 months after fantasy was over. So and that's not true. Me and Ryan did stay in touch, but during fantasy football season, it was weekly. And this is before the podcast. Now that we have the podcast, we talk very regularly. But yeah, before the podcast, it was all right. This is fantasy football year. Me and Ryan are best friends. He's one of the guys I talk to the most.
Yeah, and I've been in a league, one of my oldest leagues. I've been in like 14 or 15 years, and I haven't lived in the same area as these guys for over 10 or 12 years, and I still talk to them, 6 months out of the year because of fantasy football. And it's just so fun to watch the games and so fun to converse with those guys. And I do want to, besides fantasy football, I want to let everybody know the Man Child Chronicles. We are now on YouTube. You can see us on video. Some real cool things we do on video. You'll have a lot of fun watching it. It's
That's right. That shirt.
you'll
Don't pull it up too far, but yeah.
got some nice shirts there. Jay is a little oversized on his shoulders on that shirt, but it's an inside joke.
Who's the really scrawny guy by me?
I think that's Ryan. Why does Ryan look so small? But great shirt. I love this shirt. Very comfortable.
Hold me
John
up
looks like a
close,
billionaire
Tiny
on there.
Ryan.
But I do want to say, everybody, check that out. Subscribe to our show. Watch it. I guarantee you're going to laugh every episode. We have a great time. We do the sports one. If you want to get a recap on the football games and see where we sit on the week, we come up with some great nicknames and some fun puns for the teams. We have that usually comes out on Tuesday or Wednesday. So look for that. It's also on all your listening devices for podcasts. You can join and subscribe there. We have a website, www.manchildchronicles.com, where you can get that awesome merch like Jay wears. You can join our Patreon, support us. Anything you do, subscribing, making comments helps us out on the podcast, and we appreciate it. We're having a great time doing it.
John, what do you enjoy most about the podcast? What's fun with that?
I don't think
other
there's
than getting to
fun
pick on
with
these guys. Nothing.
Nothing fun about it.
All right. What do
John
you
is
hate
the
about it, John?
John is the antagonizer. What he goes to sleep well when he knows he has gotten under mine or Ryan's skin.
It'll like everybody cry. I can't go to sleep. It's a curse.
Oh, that's too funny. Mom saying ha 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 ha. So, one other thing we do have to ask this, Ryan. I mean, we asked this last year, and we need to ask it again this year. How many fantasy football leagues are you participating in this year?
Well, I haven't counted them up yet, but last year when I ended, I said I am not doing this many leagues again because I miss putting my lineup in some of these leagues, and it cost me. So I said I'm not going to do that, and I'm going to count them up for you while we're on the show. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 20, 26 leagues I'm in. I had it down to 6. And I was like, I'm just going to keep these 6. I'm going to keep these 6 teams at the end of the year. I got out of all these leagues. I said, I'm only going to have 6. And
How do you say whoops and there's 20 more?
Well, I'll tell you what. I had a guy I worked with that moved away, and he asked me to be in the league with him, so I said sure. I had a buddy who's like, hey, let's just get into this one league. That's all we're going to do. I said sure. Well, there's one league I got into with him. This one guy keeps putting out all these leagues that are $5 leagues. I'm like, oh, $5 leagues? If I just win a few of these, that just pays off itself. So I got in about 15 of those.
Ryan got this little itch. Well, it's just another $5 league. There ain't no problem.
What's 26 times 5?
Yeah.
He had a guy he met in the grocery store in a league, and he said, "Hey, I'm in."
Yeah, I heard him I heard him over in the produce aisle. I'm like, you talking about fantasy football?
You got
another league I can join in on?
Ethan says, Ryan, you're a legend. Now, I told Ethan that you were in a bunch of leagues. Ethan, tell us how many you're in real quick. Jay, John, tell us how many leagues you guys were
I'll let John go while I'm counting.
I didn't hear the question.
How many leagues are you in, John?
I am in one.
Wow.
One. He's in our main league with us, and he has a pretty
That's-
good team.
That's
He
good.
might
He
make the
doesn't.
playoffs this year. I doubt
I
it.
did 2 leagues one year. And it was so stressful. I said never again. One.
It was so stressful. He quit fantasy football for like 2 years. He
I
was
think
like,
I did.
can't do
I
it."
detoxed.
Ethan says he's in one.
Oh.
Katie says, way to go, John. Way to go. That's awesome.
Oh, is
And
Katie
I'm gonna-
listening? I can't tell you how many leagues I'm in. Katie knows of 3, and I have to leave it at that. So 3 leagues.
Okay.
3 leagues. No,
But-
I it's actually not as bad. It's 4. I added one more work league. That's the one I was just drafting for. So I'm in 4 fantasy leagues. That's it.
Okay. Ryan knows some people if you need more.
Yeah, you
I'm
guys need to get a
well
league.
aware.
I'm your guy.
Hey, your mother says that she's in a league of her own. That's right. You are, Jane.
Mom,
Good
you're
job, Mom.
embarrassing us. Gosh.
Oh.
Hey, I want to get some final comments from each of you guys. John, we're going to start with you since they say that you're the antagonist.
I mean, it was all right being on here with you guys. It was all right.
John, what are you looking forward to the most for football this year? Even though Tom Brady is not in it anymore.
I guess what I'm looking forward to the most is now that I know my Sundays are set. Like me, the TV, some good food, and some football. Like, don't have to make plans anymore. Don't have to come up with anything crazy. It's football season, baby.
All right. There you go. Ryan, how about you?
Well, I can't wait for this season to start. I'm so excited to watch it, and I'm going to get anytime if the Jets do bad, I'm going to be the worst person. I mean, these guys might as well just block my number. It's going to be bad, real bad. I'm very excited for this season. I love football season. I like making chili dogs on Sundays, watching football downstairs. My son will join me every once in a while, and I love it. Love football time. And it's on 3 times a week, so my wife gets me the other 4 days. It's a good time. Can't wait.
Well, going back to what Katie said, you manage it well, Jay. You manage it well. And then Ethan says he would love to get in on this. These guys are hilarious. So we will have to do another program sometime with you guys and bring Ethan on here as well. He'll have a lot of fun with you all. Jay, I'm going to have you. Tell us last comments.
Hey, my final thoughts right here. Ethan, you fire me up. I appreciate you enjoying the 3 of us. We also have one other guy that joins us on our podcast every week, and that's Michael Glavin, but he is not the football expert, so we did not bring him on for sports. But if you're having fun, I'm telling you, tune into the Man Child Chronicles. You'll love the podcast. We are on YouTube now, so you can get to hang out and actually watch us act like total morons every week, and we love doing it. The other side of that, Kirk, love One Nation. I love what Sports Locker does, bringing on different organizations or students every week. It's so much fun. I haven't been able to join you for months now.
I know.
And I hope we can get that rectified because I do miss coming on live with you. This has been fun.
Well, miss having you too. And I'm going to close this out here, kind of, but I'm going to leave that for my man at the top there. He's going to have to close us out only the way that Ryan Olson can. So I'm just getting you prepped for that. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And like they said, check out the Man Child Chronicles. You've been watching One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Thank you guys for joining us. And we're going to close out with the man. Go ahead.
Ooh, yeah. Been a while since I've done this. The Jets this year are going to rise to the cream of the crop. You heard it right here on the One Nation. Tune into YouTube and watch the Man Child Chronicles podcast. Until next time, oh, yeah. Dig it, brother.
There you go. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Kirk.
Yep,
Thank you.
hold on for me afterwards, and I'll visit with you as I close out.